Let's see. I've burned my hands numerous times and once blew it up playing with gunpowder. Yeah, I was back in my Renaissance Fair days. I was messing around trying to actually out dumb someone. Because see, my character we used to play Jonathan Flint. I always kind of pictured him as the loony goofball, kind of like the Pinkie Pie of sorts. And this brother came. His brother, one of the director's wives, Shelley's brother. You've met him actually, Layla. He's the guy who played what's the game called? Pandemic with us. Really guy, nice guy, beard kind of fellow. Anyway, the guy was there and pretty much was acting like the village idiot. He was making stone soup with a sword. I mean, he was chopping up lettuce with a sword, and I was like, when I saw this, I just figured, you know what? Challenge accepted. No one can outloon me. So what I did was, I decided to actually make real stone soup. So I got my little pot, I usually used to make gunpowder in, filled it with a bunch of gunpowder, put some rocks in, and I set it aside, and I pretended to, quote-unquote, light it in the hopes that it would catch the fire with the match with the gunpowder, have it, blow up in my face. Like, as like, special effects kind of stuff. Except, it actually did blow up in my face. The thing is, if you ever look at people firing off cannons, if they do it correctly, they have what's called a linstock, which is basically a piece of fancy wood or holder that they tie the match cord around, which they use to light off stuff, like cannons, because they don't burn their hands. I wasn't using one. I was just taking the match in my hand, basically, kind of lowering it in. So when the powder got lit, it just sent a fireball, like funneled out of the pot right into my hand. Like, I'm just glad to this day I have no scars, but my hand was like seared black for at least a few days.
Oh my god.
But I've done like a lot of dumb stuff like that, especially at my old job working at the scene shop back at my college's theater shop. I mean, everything from drilling holes into my thumb.
Oh my god, how?
I was actually trying to screw something in with a power drill. Well, the thing I screwed it into my thumb. What happened was, like, different kinds of drill bits? Like, I mean, for those who don't, drill bits are basically bits that you change out of a power drill to kind of change what you're, screwing or drilling. And in this particular moment, I was trying to screw in what's called square head screws. Basically, instead of like a cross for Phillips or a flat head for like those kind of lined screws, these screws are basically a square. And it had a square bit on. And I was trying to screw it in, and for whatever reason, my bit lost grip with the screw, jumped, and nicked my thumb.
Oh!
And I remember this day. I just looked at it, looked at it for a second, went, huh. Finished the job, and then went off to go, get like a Band-Aid or something. And, blood's everywhere, but I at least got the job done. And that was the kind of nonsense you would see at the scene shop all the time. In fact, one of our Jesuits who were in charge of us, once, you'll have to tell the story how one time he was helping out, and he got a quote-unquote splinter that he had to go to the hospital to get out. And he got to the ER, he walked in, or he was wheeled in or carried in, and they looked at to the nurse and said, so, what's the problem? And he said exactly that, I have a splinter, and pointed to the large piece of wood sticking out of his leg.
Oh my god.
Ah!
Just like, this big, hunk of wood. So, if this was, like, the piece of wood, yeah, his leg was basically like that.
Oh my god.
Ooh! No. No.
I got plenty of stories like that. Let me keep going.